Hello everyone, and welcome to the 2011 High Tech Day. I'm Ralph de la Vega, and I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you. We're in one of the highest tech locations, an AT&T store, where we sell the latest technology and the coolest wireless devices in the country. Congratulations on participating in High Tech Day and taking part in a job shadow experience. This year's theme is Rethink Your Future. And by rethink, we mean imagining your future without obstacles or roadblocks. We all face obstacles in life. I did. Let me tell you my story. I was born and raised in a middle-class family in Cuba. Here I am eating a popsicle at our beach home with my mom, my sister Barbara, and my dad. But the life we knew came to an end after the Cuban Revolution, when our personal freedoms began to be curtailed. My parents decided to leave Cuba for the U.S., where they hoped my sister and I would have a better future. But when we arrived at the Havana airport, we learned that only my papers were in order. The officer said 5 words that changed my life forever. And those 5 words were, "Only the boy can go." My parents decided to send me ahead to Miami, thinking they would follow in a couple of days later. I was 10 years old, and I would not see my parents again for 4 years. Imagine yourself at age 10, arriving in a foreign country, alone, no parents or relatives, no money, not speaking English, and not knowing the culture. A young family of recent immigrants took me in and cared for me as if they had been my parents. Those days were very difficult. We shared a 1-bedroom apartment. We ate the food that the government handed out to Cuban exiles, but little by little, we began to move ahead. As difficult as those years were, I am grateful for having had the experience. I learned the importance of planning and making sacrifices, like my parents did when they left the life they had behind and moved our family to the U.S., even if it meant starting all over again. I learned the importance of dreaming big, of setting goals, and not letting anyone put limitations on what I can achieve. And I learned the importance of getting a good education. I learned that in high school when I went to see a counselor to find out what I needed to do to become an engineer. The counselor took a look at my grades. They were average. And at my family's financial situation, we were struggling. And he said, "Son, I think you should forget about becoming an engineer and go to vocational school to become a mechanic." Now, there's nothing wrong with being a mechanic. It just wasn't my dream. My dream was to become an engineer. Nevertheless, I followed the counselor's advice. I enrolled in vocational school while going to high school. And I would be a mechanic today if it had not been for my grandmother. She had been a teacher back in Cuba. And when I told her I enrolled in mechanical school, even though what I wanted was to be an engineer, she said, "This does not make any sense. If you want to be an engineer, be an engineer." And then she said something I've never forgotten. That is, don't let anyone put limitations on what you can achieve. I listened to my grandmother. I did a Control-Alt-Delete on what that counselor said. I quit vocational school, finished high school, enrolled in college, and graduated as a mechanical engineer. And the rest is history. Thanks to my grandmother's advice, I am an engineer, and I've had an exciting career because I've been able to do what I wanted to do. I've been directly involved in the digital revolution, in bringing fast internet to homes and businesses. I've worked in foreign countries, met interesting people from all over. I've worked with young people such as yourselves in helping them get ready for their future. And as president and CEO of AT&T Mobility, I work with the incredibly smart people who bring mobile broadband, smartphones like the iPhone, and cool apps to consumers like you. And all that because I decided to go to college and become an engineer instead of settling for what someone thought was good enough for me. Think of where I would be if it had not been for my grandmother's advice. So today I want to leave you with the same advice that my grandmother gave me. That is, don't let anyone put limitations on what you can do, not even yourself. As you rethink your future, I encourage you to dream big, imagine the future you want for yourself. Don't let obstacles get in the way of your dream. Work hard, get a good education, and believe in yourself. If you want to be an engineer, be an engineer. If you want to be a doctor, be a doctor. If you want to be a teacher, be a teacher. We all face obstacles in life, but what makes us unique is not the obstacles we face, but what we do to overcome them. I wish you great success in overcoming your obstacles and reaching your dreams.